Good morning and welcome to another 1 hour build. Oh, not 12 hours, 1 hour. Of rock, paper, scissors. This is getting a bit repetitive now, but I will do this. I'm going to shake things up a little bit today. The issue I've got is that I'm just struggling to build things fast enough. So I'm going to try to change my testing strategy and have a high level application where I write hopefully fewer and easier tests, less boilerplate, and spend more time on the module itself. So let's see how it goes. Let's set up our tests. New shortcut in Livebook. Cool. That can pass and fail, right? So what we want to do is we want to test we're going to describe our RPS application. I'm going to wrap the whole thing in an application, and then the test will mostly be listening to messages emitted by the application, which should make them quite a lot simpler. So, emit RPS, starting message. Right, so what we can do, we want to assert received RPS, starting. And we're going to okay, comma ped, and we're going to do the app. It's going to be called RPS, and it's going to have a start method. It's going to take a type, which is just normal, and it's going to take what's it going to take? It's going to take a context. And we get a context from there. We run this, it fails. Cool. So now we def module RPS to use application info application def start type comma args do, and this will be supervisor.startLink. I'm going to have an empty children array and a strategy for all. Right, we run this. Test still fails because there's no matching messages. And what we need to do is in our args, we need to stick a function that allows it to emit. So we can do def emitter Send to self. So this is going to be an emitter to our test process that allows us to basically spy on everything that's going on in the application. And the message is going to be probably number 2. And we'll default that to log. Maybe that'll do the trick. Yeah, let's stick that in mmap. Or no, let's make it a keyword list. Okay. That's fine. We can do that. Right, and I think let's see if we can do this. At describe tag. Emit should be emitter. No, because that's a compile time. Okay. That's a bit annoying, but we can do set text to okay, context, and then add a map.put. Key will be emit, and the value will be there. I'll do the function call. Right, okay, cool. So now we will have in there pattern match emit function. And we can do emit. We need the non-function, so we need to call it that way. And we are going to emit from module. And it's going to be to log, for example, and the message is going to be starting. Every time. It's not a tuple, it's a keyword list. Okay. Did I do that? Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll just do that, which I suppose makes it easier. Yeah, so it needs to be from RPS to okay, let's do it wrong way around. Oh, it's not. active. Okay, right. And that's unused, so we can do that. Alright, that's a little bit of boilerplate to get this set up, but hopefully it will speed things up for us. Because now what we can say is start game. I wonder if that's going to cause problems. Let's see. Just copy this for now. I wonder whether we're going to have PID crashes. No, we're not. Interesting. Oh yeah, because the application isn't named, so we'll just create a new PID for the supervisor. And then I'll go, cool. That is very nice. But it won't save us. It won't save us once we start naming the game. But we don't need to. I think we should be okay. Right, so from game to log message starting. Right, so we want the same thing, right? And obviously we're not going to receive it, but then what we can do is I'm going to make this okay, the tab over here so I can actually see my test output while I'm working here. So we need supervisor.start link. We want to define more children. So in here we want and that's how you do it. And color them tables for now. Okay. Can I just say game? Okay, right, so let's do this. Module game do use gen server. Will that do it? Okay, we need to implement def start link args. Comma do gen server dot start link module comma args. Cool. Oh, actually, let's do that. And here we expect args to have emit. We'll do emit How's that looking? Really? What is game start link failed undefined? Ah, okay, because we're passing it an array rather than that. Okay, so if we do, if we could do MFA. At module arg2build. Okay, that should be fine. Start link is undefined or private. Game.start link 1. Ah, there we go. Why did the supervisor receive the message? Is it to do with this? Needs to be a bit bigger and shit. There we go, right, so that passed. Yeah, I wondered if that would cause a problem because the function was using self when it was called, but that's cool. Okay, so we know that it's starting a game. What else do we want it to do? Let's move this up. Mr. Out there. And then this RPS application, I think that's all it really, well, that's all it does for now. We need the game to do some stuff. I'm wondering whether we should log the starting arguments or whether we don't care. Maybe that's going too far into the weeds, so maybe just describe. I don't want to describe them. That's fine. Test game request input from players from each input from each player. Okay, so we want at tag players, and it's going to be a list, and say p1 comma p2, and we want for player from players to assert received, and we can do from we want a game name. From should be the string game colon name. 2 should be player code 1 player, and the message should be the tuple. It should be play game name. Okay, is it complaining about this? Okay. Right, so we do comma underscore ped equal to RPS dot start. Yeah. So of course the messages don't come because we're not sending them. So what we want to do here let's turn that into a describe tag for now. Presumably that's still okay. Yeah. Okay, and now here we want to make sure we have players game name. Yeah, they're unused. Okay, so we're going to give it all the args actually. And this is going to need at impulsion server def init. It's going to have a state. No, that's not a state, that's just the input. And it's going to get game name, players. Gonna return okay, comma, percentage state, and up here we're gonna define default state to def struct, and we're gonna say we will have a name. We will have a list of pending players, and we will have emit. Should be good for now. Okay, make sure everything's still broken in exactly the same way, which is good. And then we can do okay, so this needs to message to itself, and the easiest way to do that is process.send after self, comma. The only thing is that's not trackable. Do we care? No, we don't care. We don't care for now because that's an implementation detail and our tests don't care about it. So we are going to send self, and the message is going to be request inputs, right? And it needs some a timeout, so say 0. This should be erroring. Let's just double check. Yeah, okay. All right. All right, it is running. I'm not sure why it's saying that, why it's not showing that through an error with an unhandled message. That's potentially a bit concerning, but we're going to handle it right now and let's see what happens. So what do we do here? State is going to be a percentage state. So we know we've got some stuff on it, and we can do for player from state.players do how do we notify the players? think we need a pub sub. At the moment we don't know. The players are just names. And we can have the players be passed in by the application with their own. Maybe that'll be what we do. Has a name and a notify. That'd be quite nice actually. So what we can do is we can do player.notify, and it will just be the message, play my game. That should be name is state.name and reply notify. Maybe we call these message. Okay, and send will be basically the same function we've got there. So we can do def make send to, and that'll be get that and return fn. Yeah, that'll work quite nicely because then we can embed the two, and it will be and the emit. So the function will only take a message from message. And what we're going to do is we are going to do send id message, and we're also going to emit, and emit takes what? From to message, so we know it's going to be from, we know to is going to be this module, and we're going to have a message. Let's do, instead of doing that, let's write down quotes. We'll interpolate the module, and then we'll do colon. So we can do the name in there. So it will be make send that's pending. Oh, yeah, that needs to be a double quoted string. Okay, where are we with things? Okay, so it's calling player.send, but actually player.send is not defined at the moment, so we're still failing that specific test. In fact, we don't have player module at all. So let's collapse that down for a bit. See what happens here. Now the interesting thing is here we need to start all the players, and then we need to figure out how we get the player. Let's have a look. We need a player.send. So we need to define how. Okay, so we need definitions here. We need player player spec will be what? Players, and we're going to map that to enum.map. Each one needs to be a tuple of player, which is going to be the module name, and the args to start it, which is going to be name is going to be player name is going to be player. Emit is going to be emit. Does it need anything else? Probably not right now. How do we create those functions? How do we create those functions? We can create those functions beforehand over here. So what we can do is right, so that's the child spec for the players. So we can put that here. We can do players child spec, and we can concat that with the game args, so they start first and then the games get started, which is fine. And then what we need to do is make sure the game gets the player spec as we expect it. So game players, it needs to be players need to enum.map fn player, and what it needs to get is it needs to get a map, I believe, that it expects. Player.send, yeah, so we have a player.name and we have a player.send. And in fact, do we even care? We might not even care about the player name, but let's see. Is player and send is going to be what was that function called? We had a make send. Yeah, we can do the same thing, right? So def module player do use gen server. In fact, we don't well, yeah, we will need that. We'll need a start link, but we can just pass that in there. Emit and name pid self from message. Ooh, can't call make send directly from inside here if because that self is going to be the it's going to end up being the PID of the application rather than the PID of the game of the player. If we call it from somewhere else before it's initialized, should have used the pub sub. It's more complicated than I want it to be. But what we could do supervisor dot. I think we can start child. Yeah, so what we can do is we can add another child. Okay, right, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to do, okay, comma pid. That's going to be our supervisor.start link. We're going to return, okay, comma pid. And we're going to do supervisor.start child. And that's going to be game, comma, args separately. So what we're going to, doesn't need a strategy. I don't think it does. So we start the kid and the players initially in a whole group, and then we start the game separately, which means the players will be started, and then we can do our game players there. How do we can do a gen server call. Yeah, we can do that. We can do that. We can do player dot make send. All right. And what we do is we make that private. Right. So what we do here is we need a whole bunch of stuff. We need def start link, and that will take what does it take? Player name, and it takes emit. This will do genserver.start link. It will be this module, and it will pass the args as they are. And then we are going to set the name, and the name is going to be module colon and the name, and that needs to be an atom because we don't have a registry at the moment. So string.toAtom. Don't do this at home, kids. Right, that will give us what we needed to give us. We don't care about the emit here actually. So I'll just put it there. And then we do at import genserver def init. We're gonna get player name is name, emit is emit. We're gonna return OK, comma percentage state. Right, so we need to def module state do def struct. We're going to have a name and we're going to have emit. I think that's probably all we need for now. So name is name, comma emit is emit. We probably want to do emit dot. And how do we normally do that? Yeah, module log starting. Module, comma, log, comma. Oh, that it's not going to be module, it's going to be this thing that we keep doing. This probably needs to be extracted into a function. Yeah, let's do that. fp make signature. And we need a name do, and it returns that. Right, we can do this. Okay, right, so we're startable, we can initialize, we have a name, and an emit, we have signatures, and we can make send. Okay, so what we need to do is at impo gen server, and we need to do def handle call. Yeah, handle call. Make send underscore from, we don't care where it's from, and we can do state, which is going to be one of our states. We can do reply, comma, make send to state. So we don't change the state, we just reply with one of those, and we can then do def make send to genserver.call. Server is going to be signature name. That's annoying. Okay, we just need the name here. Pipe that into string.atom. That won't be created because it already would have been created when we started the module. And the request is going to be make send. Okay, this is interesting. Okay, I need to grab that and pop it down here. I should fix it. Okay. So this is the entry point. We call it does a call to itself, gets this the state, and then it makes a send function with all of that. So in our module here, send is going to be player. Let's make send player. So we're going to be a list of maps with the name and the send function. And the args we pass here are going to be emit is emit players is equal to game underscore players, and name is equal to in fact I think we just need game name is game name. How's that looking? Let's have a look. Okay, we need IDs. Yeah, that's fair enough, because we're creating lots of these. So we need supervisor.childSpec player with the arguments, and then we need ID is gonna be player.signature player. Pipe that into string.toAt. Interesting. Okay. Is it private? Yeah, it is private. One, 4, 8. 1, 1, 3. Oh, do I need to ped here? Yeah. Cool. So we have Elixir Player 1 starting. Where's it say Elixir Player 1? That's weird. I'm not sure I care. Okay, right. So we know that those are starting. What is our test actually? Game request input from each player. Cool. So now that all that is done, we can look at our game. We can say request input player.send play game. Um, okay, so from should be the game name. The player should be player, and we need to assert that's received. We don't have from in the emit there, do we? The player no call make sound. Oh no, because that function, the send, takes a from and a message. So the game, when it calls it, should be doing basically this, which is going to be signature, signature name. Okay, so is this actually ever being called? No, which is what we thought. We thought it wasn't being called. init process send after self request input. So this definitely gets run. That send after happens. It sends to self request inputs after 0. So why does that handle info not get? If we just do send. Why is send to undefined? Oh, because we just need send. Okay, so we have once again run out of time. Turns out that wiring these up by hand is time consuming, and having fewer tests means that you spend a lot more time floundering to fix a single test. Okay, we can learn from this. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.